Excellent. Welcome everybody to watch the SharePoint Hackathon winner video series. And this time we're here with Richard and Mallika to talk about the SharePoint portal submissions. They had a really awesome cool submission on SharePoint out-of-the-box portal extensibility, looking beautiful layouts and all of that stuff. And we're going to see that live today in this video, which is really cool. Before we go there, quickly, my name is Cesar Yuvan and I'm a Principal Product Manager from Microsoft. Definitely not the star today. The stars are Richard and Mallika. So let's do a quick intros with you. Who are you and what is your role, and how long have you been working with SharePoint and Microsoft 365?
Awesome. Yeah, I guess I'll start. My name is Richard Plant. I'm the creative lead at 2toLead, and we are focused on SharePoint and the digital workplace and employee experience. So this hackathon was just a great experience to kind of tie in some of the professional services that we do. I have a background in design and UX research and have been using SharePoint since around 2004. So it's been a while,
Cool.
and it's been awesome to see how it's evolved and changed over all these years, giving more creativity, more flexibility in the user experience. And yeah, it's just been a really great journey seeing it change over these years.
Absolutely. What about you, Mallika?
Yeah, hi, I'm Mallika. I'm also from 2toLead. I'm a graphic designer here, and I kind of my role centers more on delivering visuals for a variety of digital content here at 2toLead, such as doing promotional materials, website updates, anything for social media channels, and also a very active member for the marketing team where I lead marketing campaigns sometimes and also implement SEO strategies. I, unlike Richard, have not been using SharePoint for a long time. I'm actually surprisingly a beginner at this. It's been like just a few months. And with all the new SharePoint features rolling out, I was actually very surprised that I was able to kind of adapt and learn very quickly. It wasn't hard at all. Like, it was very easy. But it might also have to do with my design background. But again, it was very easy to learn and adapt and kind of start designing and creating pages right away with the new features in SharePoint.
Makes sense. Thank you for the feedback on that one. Now let's go through both of you. So Richard, you're old school SharePoint person. You've seen the transition and all of that. Let's not go to the back on the dinosaurs age. But what about the new stuff on SharePoint? So how are you feeling about the new stuff what we've been rolling out within the past, let's say, 12 to 24 months?
I have been, super impressed with all the new things coming out. Because in the past, it was always you had to work with the developers really close and to try and get that vision, especially for intranets. And then a lot of our customers too are marketing and communications type people, and they're always asking, "Oh, could we put our brand in?" And yeah, but that would involve a lot of customization. So a lot of these new features out of the box now, we can do that. We can brand intranets to the customer, and I think that's a huge win. Something very excited about to help our customers with SharePoint and their intranets and the new features.
And I have to say, we're only just getting started.
Amazing.
So, so a lot of good stuff on the pipeline. But what about you, Mallika? Now, you're a new person. You come from a marketing, so you're kind of our marketing customer representative, and learning to use SharePoint. You said already that it's kind of easy to adapt and start doing things. Any other feelings and thoughts? What was easy, or any experiences or feedback? What should we get even better?
Yeah. Again, like I said, it was very easy for me to kind of go in there and start right away. Didn't really need much on onboarding. Just looked at, the webinars and the new release videos from Microsoft. And I think really what really made it easy was how we can like drag and drop now with the flexible sections, right? And you have the grids for us to kind of anchor web parts as well. So those were really, I guess, the key elements that made it easy to adapt. And I also like you are trying to put in like AI stuff, like design ideas, where we can just kind of really easily look for templates, just put it in, go, put it in, go. We can customize it. All these kind of customization options and flexible sections really kind of made it easy for me to learn and adapt and just create and start designing pages right away.
Yeah, so you could actually get, your creative thoughts directly on the SharePoint page. Is that fair to say?
Yes, that's definitely fair to say. Definitely just kind of go in, and instead of, like Richard said, bugging someone else to, hey, like, can I do this or that? Just putting in my ideas right away in there.
Yeah, really cool. Really cool. We kind of gone a long way when we got started, for sure. And as like I said, Richard knows the background, but so I've been around from 2006, and it's been wonderful to see the transition. And also now that we have this flexibility within the cloud as well, which is absolutely brilliant. So it's awesome to see, and there's so much more in the pipeline as well. Now, I think coming back on the hackathon, you did win the out-of-the-box SharePoint portal hackathon, and really the focus area there was the out-of-the-box extensibility and make it look pretty. And of course, the storytelling was around the flexible layout where you can, well, make the SharePoint look whatever you want it to make look within certain boundaries still. Maybe the easiest way to actually see your submission live and what have you created is actually go to the live demo and talk, and you can talk about a bit about the design and the thinking behind of that and why did you choose the certain layouts and all of that. But there were so many cool things within your video, so thank you for awesome submission. Let's transition to the live demo. And I think, Richard, you'll take it away from there, and then we can see the beautiful stuff what you submitted.
Sure. Thanks, Bessa. Yeah. When we did this hackathon, we thought, what could we really do to showcase some of these new features? And so we wanted to kind of tell the story from an intranet perspective, internal, and we came up with a marketing and communications department type site using those out of the box web parts. And from there, we also really wanted to create a custom landing page, almost like an editorial design where we could have a lot of fun, be creative, and create some of those really, cool layouts that couldn't do in the past. So we were really highlighting the flexible sections. A lot of our sections are using that. You're going to see. We'll even maybe give you a peek behind the curtain, show you in edit mode what it looks like in SharePoint. But Mallika, maybe you want to talk about just the marketing and communications site itself.
Yeah, thanks, Richard. Yeah, I'll take it away with the beginning of the site. So this is our internal site for our marketing and communications team that we developed for the hackathon. We actually used the new brand center in SharePoint to set up first a custom theme along with our own fonts to match our brand, as Richard is showing you right now here. And when thinking about how this site should look like, Richard and I really did some initial research and captured our inspiration in digital mood boards before coming up with the final site design, which you see here. And this initial process, I believe, really helped us in kind of conceptualizing how each section came together to create the overall design. And first, at the top here, you can see our hero zone, which features the carousel web part. This carousel, we decided to put it in as the hero zone because we felt that it was an engaging way to showcase top articles and any special announcements there are in the marketing team. And we also felt that how the interactivity of it is really what helped kind of create the visual interest to the site, as it allows users to kind of focus on the updates once they land on this page. And right below the carousel, we also have some quick links, which we included. And it's kind of a direct access to key tools and apps, which our employees in the marketing team might need during their daily activities. And below that, next, we have the featured announcements. These are just featured announcements from across the organization. And that is followed directly by some upcoming department events right below that.
Yeah, thanks, Mallika. And then following that, this is where we get into some of the more custom sections. Here, I'll just go into edit mode. Our resource section here is basically a section to showcase a bit of the brand. So the background, we have our logo, playing with that, but then also using the editorial cards here, highlighting some very big quick links that a lot of our team members go to on the daily basis. So things like HR, policies, procedures, templates, those kind of things, as well as our org asset library. So our marketing team constantly using that library to create our marketing stuff, our socials, a lot of that good stuff. And then right below it, our sites. We have, again, just this is the out of the box SharePoint, but it can be kind of personalized to the department site itself. And highlighting those key areas, making it easy for employees to kind of navigate around the intranet and get to other areas or projects that they're working on. And then below that is our is another web part that we kind of tie in some collaboration with. We really love the Viva suite, Viva Insights, Viva Connections, Viva Engage specifically, tying in the questions and answers communities, trying to get collaboration, because we are remote virtual offices all over the place, and so to kind of have a central place for our staff to kind of ask questions, get answers, do polls, using those out of the box features, really easy to add and drag and drop. So that's something we always encourage in internal department type sites below.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and then we get into more of the newer features below that. Again, these are the flexible sections. Really wanted to kind of push the boundaries of what we could do. Sometimes maybe a little too busy in certain areas, but that was by design, to kind of experiment with the layering of text and images, using a bunch of images and graphics that are from our brand library, our logo, and then putting them all on the page, seeing how they kind of play together. You can see that in this next example too. Similar to, it's like a branding approach, but we went crazy with the images. So we've got these abstract shapes that are SVGs. They're very crisp. They look great. And then we can layer them on top of, mock-ups and things of that nature.
I was actually expecting that to be a one picture, but it is actually a collection of multiple pictures. So then
these are a collection of multiple pictures. Yeah. And we played around with different things. Like even these are all individual. We could have saved them out as one and from Figma and then embedded them, but you can go in, group them, change the order, all in SharePoint. And I know like you couldn't do that before. So that is like a game changer in terms of layout. You're almost using SharePoint to design the page, which is awesome. Like one of the huge improvements for the design and the creativity. Also loved that we could define, header 1, 2, 3 to create that, accessibility in terms of, reading, and then the styles that go along with that in terms of your paragraph texts, and being able to add, a button for call to action. These are all just web parts dragging onto this zone, making it very interactive.
And of course, a zone background as well. So on that one especially, so really popping the text as an isolated zone background there. So
yeah. One of the things we did try to do in each of the sections was change how the fill mode worked with some of the background images. So we did use our own background images in a lot of these sections, but we tried the different alignments. In this case, the devices, we have them aligned to the right, anchored to the bottom, and then we have this great gradient overlay from left to right so that you can read the text. And just very interesting. All the opportunities from the properties are endless. Like you have so much to work with when it comes to the layout. So I'm not sure, Mallika, is there anything you want to add? I covered quite a bit there, but
yeah, no, just to, I guess, wrap up like the flexible sections that we used. Like you can see, Vesa, we really explored and experimented with what the hackathon means to us. Really pushed the boundaries, like what Richard said. A lot of visual elements that we added, again, couldn't have been possible without the flexible sections, having the grids to kind of help us move things around, anchor things, able to group things even. Customize the background, like you said, add some gradients, add some overlays, all these different things, really adding more visual interest to the site and make the SharePoint site more modern looking.
Yep. And combining that with exactly the section backgrounds and all of those overlays and web parts, and also the hero web part and the editor card web part and all of that stuff. It's beautiful, beautiful stuff. And then you have individual design pages as well. Those were beautiful. I love the really the bright color differences because it really pops there. This one definitely was one of my favorites from a layout perspective because it looks so good from a picture perspective.
Yeah, that was one of the things we were really going for in this, was to have a lot of fun. Something that was a little more wild or a little more out there than maybe what we could get away with a customer sometimes. and to, again, have fun with the layering. So these are all individual. It's a transparent PNG image that, again, SharePoint handles that really well. Just add it. Our background in this case is just a solid color. So we kept it simple, and we wanted the focus to be on the image and the text in this hero zone. Using really vibrant colors. Another thing you'll see is yellows kind of sprinkled throughout the layout, and that's by design to catch the reader's eye. So we've got this gentleman in the yellow suit. You're drawn to that. You then read the heading article. And then as we move down, you'll see other areas where we have kind of yellow highlighted and sprinkled in. Mallika, maybe you want to talk about this section here?
Yeah. So as we move on to the sections below, since this is kind of more of like an editorial page highlighting an article, you can see we again use the different kind of headings and subheadings and different text sizes again to really create that readability for the users, that accessibility. And again, in the background as well as on your right-hand side, you see we added custom images, custom graphics. They're all again singular items that we kind of imported and put it in. And in the background, you'll see that we have this kind of a gradient effect. It's in the image itself. It's actually on purpose to kind of naturally guide the users down as they're reading. And once they've finished that section, it actually blends naturally into the next section. So it's not like a jarring contrast where they're like, okay, like we've stopped reading, what's next? It's more of like keep reading and then we'll keep reading to the next section, which they wouldn't know about because like, again, we said like we did the gradient effect and then we kind of just naturally led it to the next section.
Really, really cool. A lot of interesting effects and layouts, and this is such a great UX design and a storytelling. You clearly hit exactly what our designers wanted people to hit, and our judges were like, by far, this is really, really cool. There was a lot of other submissions which were really cool as well, but this one was really like, you clearly were paying attention on the new features and the flexible layout focus and of course the color. Thinking on the color impact as well, which is really, really cool. So awesome work on this one.
Thank you. Yeah,
cool.
Again, I don't know how much time we have, but we can keep going.
We can, yes, we can go through the page. Yes, definitely. So there's so much cool stuff in here.
Yeah, there is a lot. We got more editorial cards. Again, just playing with the different orientations, the image overlay style, trying to keep each editorial card slightly different to keep it engaging. And then the content alignment as well, with some call to actions, showing them, helping people to navigate to other articles or other reports, in this case, a survey, along with some statistics. Again, playing with these SVG type images and adding them to the layouts to create some engaging infographics was another kind of goal that we wanted to kind of create that engaging experience here. Mallika, maybe you want to talk about the quote part?
Yeah, for the quote part, this is again, like Richard said, the contrast thing was a very big element for us, kind of switching between light and dark to again create kind of visual interest, keep the readers engaged with our page. And in this featured quote section, we really kind of try to play around with custom images, custom elements, like the font, like the type that we use in the text. We use like a pull quote style to kind of just play around, kind of make it more obvious and catch the interest or the eyes of the readers. And also like that little swish, you can see the quotation mark, just adding that in there for another like stylistic approach. You can see the whole page is more about being more stylistic, kind of putting in more creative kind of web parts and designs. And we also have a little author's kind of web part that we've added as well in the bottom there.
Yeah, like with
Really
the
nice.
flexible sections, we can like align up the text with images and kind of create those nice grid-like layouts in there as well. And then kind of moving further on, some more graphics, because it was more of an editorial style that we were going with, custom background, again, normal image, but then easily just in SharePoint, adding the overlay to create that nice contrast so that things really pop. We've got our text, and some infographics to visually show some of the different statistics as well that go along with this article and the research that has been playing through it.
So many cool layouts. This is really, really cool. So, and it's just a lot of inspiration and obviously like so many ideas. When I saw the video as well, it was like, wow, it does not look like a SharePoint. Not that it can look like a SharePoint, but it's a classic saying that can you make my SharePoint not look like a SharePoint? And the answer right now is that absolutely we can, if you don't want it to look like a SharePoint. In certain cases, it makes sense to make it look like a SharePoint. Maybe in the corporate global intranet, you want to have that pixel perfect design like we can see here. That's when you want to play around with the flexible layouts for sure. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely, like we've been saying, the ideas, the creativity is endless. And we can do a lot of those things that we've been asked to do in the past from customers and be like, that would be so custom. Probably can't even go there. But yeah, just again, having the different properties in the background, like, and just really thinking about the layout too. In this case, we wanted this pill box kind of subheader. Well, it's an image that we've added on top, and we have the accessibility. We can type it in; it's still accessible. And then there's again selectable text right above it. More editorial cards that we're using to highlight and link, but we really wanted to take it one level deeper or further in the background and having kind of that horizontal line breaking between the cards and the text above it. So just being able to do that in SharePoint would take a lot of custom code in the before, but now this is all done right in the flexible sections.
Yep, absolutely.
I also like that, we have so much customization options with, like, for example, like the editorial cards. You've already seen us use like 2 or 3 of them, like different layouts, right? We have the image overlay. Now we have the split version here, and we are also able to kind of add custom images to this one as well. Really, really great way to highlight different sorts of call to actions for the readers or the users of the site.
Yep. There's a lot of layouts being used on this one, so and it really showcased the art of possible. So really, really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, and that's kind of it. We kind of edited it with the footer, just some sources, our contributing articles. This is the out of the box people. Easily add those profiles in, and again connected to SharePoint and Office 365. So to get those contact information around. Yeah.
This is really, really, really cool. Let's actually flip back on it here. So a lot of great layouts and a lot of things. Almost like I want to go now and start, playing around and wait a minute, how did they do that? I need to now think. But it's really awesome to see that level of an innovation and creative design on top of the SharePoint for sure, and really pushing the boundaries what we can do now with the flexible layouts. And if anybody is wondering, is that available for everybody else right now? I think it's rolling out right now for general availability. As we did the hackathon, we just rolled it out for targeted release customers. We're recording this, by the way, in early April 2025. I guess it's early April. Yes, early April 2025. But it's rolling out gradually then for a more general usage. In the hackathon timeframe, again, it was for targeted release customers. So you needed to have that tab enabled within your tenant. Any thoughts about, in general, about the hackathon? Any thoughts, feedback? Should we do another one next year, maybe at the same time, or what can be improved? Any thoughts on that?
Mallika, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. This was my first hackathon, I guess, SharePoint hackathon experience. And again, being a beginner at this, it was really great with all the new features that were rolling out. Yes, definitely do another hackathon next year, please. It would be awesome. Like, it was so nice, not just to participate, but also to see everyone else who kind of participated, seeing what they came up with. I think it was a great way to get the community together, learning, sharing, just kind of collaborating in a way, right? Just to see what people do with the same web parts, with the same functions, how they can kind of create what they want to. And again, like with the hackathon, I think it was like for us, especially Richard and me, it was like a try and fail fast method. That's why we kind of explored experimented, pushed a lot of boundaries, like what we do here at 2toLead as well. So I would say overall, I just really love the experience. Vesa, you were great. All the judges were great. Everyone else, really great, like just experience for everyone, I'd say.
Yeah.
And I really hope to see more of such opportunities in the future, definitely.
Cool. Thank you for the feedback. Richard, anything to add?
Yeah, I would echo all that. Kind of my first SharePoint hackathon. I've done design hackathons in the past, and this, again, just an awesome experience. Kind of got to meet a lot of new people in the community since it was my first, and everyone was so friendly and open. So that was amazing. And then just to be able to participate, even see some other, like I would say, SharePoint heroes that I look up to, and then uh, like people that I follow on YouTube, and then being able to see what they've done and compete in the
Yep.
same categories was next level for me. Just amazing.
Yep.
I hope you do more of these in the future.
That is certainly the plan. I think the feedback has been really, really good on this one, and so we'll definitely do another one. Let's see where do we schedule that, but and I think we need to do a bit earlier communications that it's coming, that we'll get even more people involved because there's a massive global ecosystem with SharePoint, not only on SharePoint, of course, but also on Microsoft 365. But as we do it with SharePoint, SharePoint is such an underlying piece for many of those functionalities. Not just on portals, but also agents and all of that stuff. So there's a lot of opportunities there. But I guess that pretty much sums up the video. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Mallika, for really cool submission, first of all, and congratulations for winning. That was really cool. That was a hard competition. I wasn't the judge on this category. There was other judges, and they were really overwhelmed by the amount of different submissions, which was really cool on the portal side. But thank you both for the submission, being part of the hackathon, and thank you for being part of the video as well.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vesa. This was great.
And thanks everybody for watching. And if you have any feedback, please add comments in the video. But that's it for now. Thanks everybody.